It's a nice quiet morning. It has been throwing it down and now the sun's trying to come through and basically everything's chilling. All the ducks are out chilling. Canada geese are having a slow, methodic stroll around the lake. Well, they have had a mowing of this bit by the lake. I don't know why, because it's normally sort of left rough and ready. And it's a dodgy place to sort of mow, because you're going down the hill. You could end up in the lake if you're not careful. They have mowed it. Just talking about Burma Island, you've got the wonderful lavender. And in spring we have the rhododendrons, we have the azaleas and all sorts. But come summer, apart from the lavender, there's nothing on Burma Island. We've now got where, because they've dug and messed about, lots of free space where they could have some nice flowers. We're sadly lacking any flowers apart from the lavender in the summer. At the end of the lake, and they've eventually had to tidy up and got rid of all the weeds. Some of the plants are struggling because of the lack of water, but it looks a hell of a lot better without all the weeds. Just needs water for these polyanthers. Young squirrel just come to say hello. No, you've got no food and going. The old barnacle goose back again. Don't know where he's been hiding, but he's back again. The old graffiti artists have been at work again. I've hidden it a bit down here this time, but near the little pond. And it still smells here. And it's a funny sort of smell. The old algae in the little stream still is bad. It's really sort of fluorescent green still. Did at some point have the swans coming up here and eating it all. Just at the waterfall, and this silver's back again, and so's the smell. You see it quite distinctively. I'm trying to find my way up. And somebody's moved that big stone off the top, and it's really silver there. So what's going on, I don't know. The actual water in the feed seems reasonably clean, so where's all this silver coming from? And more to the point, what is it? Because we got no feedback from the Environment Agency to what it was. But it is that sort of cellulose sort of smell that can, not careful, send you to sleep. And the sun's sort of hitting it, and it's really very clear, this silver. And it sort of seems to stop there. It is sort of working its way down, but it's only at this top bit where it is very clear. Up by the Gulf War, and we've got some geraniums we can put in. These do tend to sort of manage with a bit less water, so they might survive. It certainly adds a bit of colour to the place. Looking by the lodge, and this bloody great hole they dug when there was that fire. It's still a bloody great hole. They've not done anything about it at all. How many weeks has it been? You should expect from August all the, 90% of the flowers down the main drive are now at their best probably. Still a few not really coming into the hole. If I turn round, the dahlias are just sort of starting. Just looking at the trees, and there's one or two not looking very happy. Big one there, and that's decidedly unhappy. Whether they're dying or you can get this because I've had no rain. They drop the leaves so they're not losing any moisture, so I have to wait and see on that. The bottom, they're always sort of hanging about at this bottom end. Must be quite a young one. You can see how the lakes lost water, because all this normally would be underwater. So very little rain, and lost quite a lot of water. Just looking at Burma Island, we mentioned before that in desperate need of some new bushes, plants or whatever. As you can see, it's, apart from the lavender, it's more or less totally bare at this time of year. So there's plenty of scope, plenty of room to get some more bushes in, or flowers. Quite a few boats out this morning. It's a funny old day because it's hot in the sun, and then that goes in and there's a cold wind. There's quite a few boats out. Somebody over the other side just fed the swans, so there you've had the breakfast. Still only got the two. A couple of very young squirrels. So looking at this wildlife area, and there's just nothing. All it is grass. Odd yellow flower there. A couple of thistles. But other than that, nothing. If they leave it, eventually it will get to forest, but it ain't going to be this week. I'm back at the waterfall again, and this silver is still very prominent, and it still stinks, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it. It's working its way down. It'll go into the little pond by the lake and can find its way into the lake and everywhere. So whether it's sewerage or something more, or it's certainly somebody wants to take some action on it. Well, it's another hot day. The dahlias are still not fully out down the main drive. The rest is looking good. It's quite surprising because the hot weather, it's been a really hard job to try and keep them watered. Geraniums are quite tolerant, but some of the others, even with watering it, has been struggling. We seem to have managed it. The danger is now, being weekend, no gardeners on, so they won't get watered till Monday, so just hope they survive. But there is forecast of a thunderstorm on Monday, so that'll help. The old bowling green's struggling, and it's not just my imagination, is it? These rails weren't there last week. Now they are. Presumably just to, because a lot of elderly will be bowling, help them up and down the stairs. Certainly see how the hot weather's performing, because this is normally almost up to the bank, and now you're starting to see all the rotting leaves and what have you, which is a good opportunity to actually get it out. And the other side's not much better. Brought some bread for the ducks. This baby moor hen, not very young, very old I mean. Throwing it to him and he's shooting the gulls off and everything. Right to drop his little moor hen. Considering the heat wave, we're doing quite well. The far bank is a bit burnt. As you swing round, there's more trees and more shade the other side, so the other side's still quite green. Still plenty of bees on the lavender. Problem is they never sit still long enough to get a decent picture. Oh, that one's on, he's not on the flower, he's on the stalk. Perhaps he wants to be on YouTube. Very cooperative. See the difference over there? Bright, sunny, hot. Over this side where there's all the trees, nice and cool, shaded, grass all green. So it really does make a difference which side of the lake you're on. You're seeing the crows for a change. It's bright colours about. It's not that long, in the middle of August. Won't be that long before we're into autumn, will it? You see things moving that way. Honestly, you could do with a bit of touch up on the old nameplate or a new one. Losing some of the letters. Look at the waterfall, and it's still silver. It's not as bad as it was last week. You can see very clearly that it's silver and doesn't seem to be populating downstream quite as much as it was, but they haven't solved it, have they? And they haven't put that brick back. And if you scrape it, you get like a slime on it, like sulphur. So whether it's poisonous we don't know, but I won't like my kids or anything else anywhere near it. And you don't know what's in that water. The Cheshire East don't seem to be taking much action over it. Waterfall, it's still say there's a lot of silver in there, but whether it's because it's not so sunny, but the state of it, it's everything's black, yucky and horrible. When you consider children often come up here and play, it's not good, is it? Yeah, it's a different angle, it still looks silvery. Again, we can see up near the child's play area how the paths are massive cracks again. Still got the two swans, one here and t'other one following behind. Well, there doesn't seem to be a big variety or anything on the lake anymore. We've got an odd coot. You sort of come in, some moor hens and ducks, and that's about it. We usually have some sort of strange visitors every now and again. This is interesting. What's this? A large amount of some white powder spread all over the plants and everything. I obviously don't want to touch it, but is it something poisonous? It's all over the bushes there as well. And a bit further round we've got a load of white stuff near this grid. Is it coming out of the grid? Is somebody dropping it? Is this what the silver stuff is up the top? Is it poisonous? Quite a few birds on the waterfall. Just had a nuthatch, a wagtail. They're all desperate for something to drink, although it's not running, there is a bit of water. Look at the waterfall. I've just been talking to two people with Friends of Queen's Park lanyards that said they've had a new pump and they're waiting for it to be cleaned. According to them, it can't get into the lake or the watercourse. As I've been dealing with the Queen's Park for 15 years, that certainly isn't true. You can come down here and go anywhere. And the fact that Cheshire East are so latent in doing anything about this, you can see that bit there, it's still very silver. This is public health we're talking about, because children come up and play here. If there's any chance of them being poisoned, or Cheshire East, if anybody does get injured, they got this on record on video of Cheshire East taking no bloody action again. The bandstand's been sealed off, and it looks as though it's just a question of a paint job. Everything's looking a bit pristine. Oh, it's a shame this, because it's never ever used, is it? Very, very rare that anybody ever uses it. It used to be a regular Sunday afternoon. Foden's band or one of the bands used to come and play here, but it's just they're empty now, and the kids playing hide and seek on it. Looks like a little wren. It's very small, that is. Up near the bandstand. Do have a new sign if I can get in to see it. All about the oaks in the park. Up near the George's playing field.